In this video, what I wanted to show you is how to make a full width hero, what designers typically call full bleed. And you see these a lot on a lot of websites where a photo just expands across the browser. I want to show you just how easy this is in CSS. If you like digital advertising, full stack development, front-end web development, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and like this video for more content. That's our end result, what we're looking for. I'm using Gulp, I'm using SAS for CSS. I'll cover that in other videos. Firstly, in your index.html, what's cool about Gulp is every time that I save, this will refresh itself. And it's really good for development because every time a CSS is changed and you'll see it there. So right now, we're just gonna start with typical semantic components. I'll use article. Okay, so that's the first element we wanna have to cover our hero. Now in our CSS, we're gonna write article and we're gonna do width 100%. Height 100%. If I could spell here, this is the fun stuff about having a mechanical keyboard is I'm constantly misspelling stuff because it sounds so nice, but at the same time, sometimes it's heavy to type on, but I love the sound of it so much. We'll do a display block. Actually, what we'll do is we're gonna do 100 VH for this, so we don't have to worry about adding 100% in our HTML and body. So I'll keep a border on here too, just so we can see it referenced. Border 1px, solid red. I like to do this sometimes when I'm coding, just so I can see what I'm looking at. So right away, you can see the border and it's already, we have a full width, full height element, and it's called article. Now, what we're gonna do is keep this SEO friendly. So we're not gonna be using background images. We're gonna be using object fit, which is an awesome CSS property that actually you can implement an image tag, which is good for SEO, but still keep it full cover. So let's just keep everything in its own parent element. So I have an image class where I'm gonna put my image. So we're gonna put the image here. So I just have a parent image and I have an image tag. And what I'm gonna do is I already have something from Unsplash that I'm going to be using, and to give credit, the credit is to Disruptivo, and I'll link that in the description in the YouTube video. But right here, we have the image. So as you can see, it's already placed and it's just huge, right? Because we have no CSS. So again, I have SAS, so I can nest this. So I'm gonna do article.image, and what I want this image tag to do is I want it to expand just like the parent element does. So we can do 100%. I'll give it display block as well. And what I'm gonna do is give this a position of absolute, because I'm also gonna have copy and I wanna be able to place that on top. As you see here, nothing has changed because we haven't done anything with our image tag. So now I'll nest the image tag right here, basically give it that background image. So first you just have to extend it 100% as well. And then what you wanna do is you wanna give it the object fit cover. We basically have expanded this image. Now we're also gonna do object position. I typically like to leave it center. Expanded as this gets more responsive. You see your head getting cut off. These are decisions you can make with designers about what you want to do with this. On different responsive sizes, you can also change the position. For example, we can keep this object position top, and what it'll do is always keep it, control for the top, and the top will always be there, right? But for now, we'll just keep it centered and just let it sort of do its thing for now. And that's pretty much it, right? If we take off this border, we have a nice hero, full width, full height, cover image that's very commonly done on many heroes. What we'll do now is, just for extra measure, we're just going to go ahead and put a little headline. A lot of times you see these headlines right in the center. I like to always give every element its parent, just in case we need to make any adjustments. I don't want it to clash. So I'll do one called hold content, where I want to be holding my copy and things like that. I'll give it an H1 tag. You always want, for SEO purposes, you always want your main headline to have H1. You want to always use semantic elements. So I'll type out hello world. Now, so what I want to do is, I want to give this a Z index of 0. Let's go over here and let's give the dot hold content. Let's give this a width of 100%. A height of 100%, because I want this, I'm gonna be using flex, and I want to control what's inside of it. So I just want this to expand. I'm gonna say display flex, and then I'm gonna say align whatever the items are that I'm gonna place. I want them to be center. I want them to be justified center as well. We'll give this a Z index of 2, so that you always want to have that position listed on, because we have the image tag has position absolute, and now we have this text position relative, and now here it is completely centered right in the middle of the page. So now we want to nest the H1 What's cool about this is you can now use the responsive font size 10VW, which is going to expand according to the width. And now you have this huge, and now you can see when you go on the width, it's responsive width-wise. The one thing about VW is that if you control for the height, it doesn't shrink itself, which is, in this case, it's absolutely okay. You can also add like a little P tags, and I'm gonna add some lorem ipsum over here. I'm just gonna kind of paste that in and have that here. So now that we know that this is flex, what I wanna do is I wanna stack. So we wanna make sure that the direction is always gonna be column in this case, because I want them to stack on top of each other. Obviously it looks a little funky right that going extended that way. We want to give it something like a max width here of 350 pixels, just so it kind of like doesn't expand too much. And then we want to align it in the center, just so it's centered. And that's it. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please go ahead and like and hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.